Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Waharakah Kadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And honors to you, brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching His word in all sincerity and in truth. And I just want to, update brothers on what's going on in Britain. Obviously Britain's all the way down bad, and just like most of Europe, most of the West. The elites are manipulating the economy and the system to disenfranchise the everyday man, especially in Britain. The deindustrialization of the North. Yeah, man, they down bad. Yeah, they're down all the way bad out here, man. The taxation, the cost of living is crazy. And it's causing a lot of discontent among these Edomites, and more of them are basically becoming right wing nationalist xenophobic demons, and all the hatred they always had in them, that they've been holding back, is coming to the forefront. And you have the main two political parties in the UK is the Labour, which is, they kind of represent center left, the Democrats in America, and then you got the Conservative Party, which is center right, and they kind of represent the Republicans, if you want to say that. And you always had other little parties like the liberal Democrats and so on and so forth. The main right wing party was the BNP, the British National Party, but it never really had much power or sway. But as time has gone on, you got this new party that's popped up, and they put the agent Nigel Farage in there as the leader, Reform UK. And they're they're getting a lot of support because so many people are disenfranchised with Conservative, and they just voted Labour in. And as soon as they voted Labour in, Labour started doing madness. So it's like both the major parties in the UK, they're losing the connection with the people, and a lot more people are on the anti-immigrant xenophobic bandwagon. And this latest thing to do with these Muslim grooming gangs, which is all set up, they let these people do what they were doing for years for this exact same purpose. And now they don't even want to do a inquiry into how this was allowed to carry on for as long as it did, on purpose, because they want to gaslight the public and make them more angry and push more of them away from the established political parties and into this Reform UK, which happens to be getting funded now as well by Elon Musk, and is being promoted by Elon Musk. So this thing is all set up, and I wouldn't be surprised if some kind of event occurs and they have some kind of emergency election or something like that, and Reform wins. And Reform would be this radical right wing type government, and they could do a lot with that, because they but we'll see. But you can definitely see that they're bringing chaos into the political landscape, and with the injection of this Reform UK and everything what's going on, is getting real spooky out here. You know what I mean? But that's how the game is played. This devil is going to manipulate these people into this chaos in order to get the outcome that they want. But see, because these people think that these parties or these agents that they're being herded to, you got the MAGAites, which a bunch of them are waking up now, but the MAGA people were herded towards Elon Musk and Donald Trump because they think Donald Trump and Elon Musk are the saviors, when in fact they're there to bring in a new world order. And the same thing's going to happen over here in the UK. You're going to have people that they're disenfranchised with the status quo, and they're looking at the Reform Party as the renegades, as the they're the saviors. Look, the system's working against them. All that BS. When in actual fact, everyone in the Reform Party are agents, and it's all set up for them to bring in their new world order anyway. There is no salvation. The only salvation is in Yahweh Shai. Like, if you think that there's gonna be some Edomite that's going to rise up and save you Edomites from the elites, then you're just stupid. All the Reform Party, right, is just as bought and paid for as the Labour, as conservative, just like Trump is just as bought and paid for as Joe Biden, you know. But these people, this is how a psyop works. It's how psychological operations work, and these morons don't even see it. They're all obsessed with these Muslim grooming gangs, and then they forget about all the football grooming that's been going on, and the Jimmy Savile, and how the Jimmy Savile pedophile ring was never exposed. They're forgetting about the Westminster pedophile cover up, which involved all the parties. But you see, this current thing is easy to use because these people are xenophobic anyway. They're racist anyway, so they're always looking for something where they can blame it on the immigrant man, on the foreigner. That's just Esau's spirit. People in general, people like to blame others, and that's just how people are. It's easy to control a group of people by manifesting hate for an external group, because people feel comfortable doing that. All right. But this is like what's happening in America right now. You got the whole false flag that happened with the guy with the truck, the driver in the truck, and the other truck that blew up. All that was false flag. All that was set up. MK Ultra, CIA programming. The guy's ISIS. I mean, why? Common sense would tell you that if ISIS is catching hell in the Middle East, right? Why would they then blow up, or do an attack in America, which only then would make America go after them in the Middle East, this is the last thing you want. It doesn't make no sense. Terrorism, what they're doing makes no sense. It works against your own goals, because being terroristic in America doesn't make America leave you alone in the Middle East. It does the actual opposite. It gives them an excuse to be there. And that's how the whole thing is BS and it's all set up. But it all plays into the immigration thing, and the immigration thing also plays into the MOTB, right? The digital ID, because it's the borders, right? And they saying the truck came across the border, all of that. So everything is just a psyop. You can see what's going on, but this is all going to lead towards a time of great chaos that's going to play into all these final prophecies. Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So now they're saying that ISIS is planning a whole bunch of other events, and this is just before Trump is getting in. This is setting the scene. This is building up a particular type of energy, a xenophobic energy, an anti-immigration energy, a close the borders energy, a clamp down and the NDA type energy. You know what I mean? What was that for? The Patriot Act type energy, right? And then MAGA fools are gonna jump right to it because they believe in their daddy. So we gotta keep our eyes open, man, because we've told you they're gonna do a whole bunch of events to bring in this new world order. And the ones that are wise can see, yeah, this is all BS, but it is what it is. But the rest of the people, they're taken by this stuff. They believe in this BS, and that's why they're manipulated, and they're gonna get caught up in it all because they're emotionally invested in one side or the other. Oh yeah, it was Biden. It was Joe Biden. Joe Biden is doing this because he don't like Trump. And you moron, man. Joe Biden's a puppet, and so is Trump. There's an overall agenda that is above all these puppets. But when you believe the news, you buy into all this side versus that side and all this garbage and good guy versus bad guy. They're all bad guys. But anyway, Joe 5. 'Cause I didn't get to bring the scripture out the other day, and I love it. I love this scripture because it sets the tone perfectly. Job 5:12. It says, "He disappointeth the devices of the crafty." Because what we're seeing with these psychological operations is the devices of the crafty. They're using craft. They're using subtlety, right? That truck false flag was just because people actually died don't mean it's not a false flag. It's a false flag in the way of it was pre-planned, and they're blaming it on an entity that they control. It's a psychological operation. It's designed so to have an effect on the people. It's a manipulation. It's not something which is actually natural or organic. It's completely artificial. Down to how they allowed a damn flipping reporter to go up in the Brere's house, man, and man's a flipping terror suspect. How does that just shows you the whole thing is a production. All right. And all these guys are connected to Fort Bragg. All of them. Even the guy that supposedly tried to attempted to shoot Trump. He got connections to Fort Bragg. These dudes always got connections to certain places because it's a setup, right? It says he disappointeth the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise, because that enterprise ultimately is the completion of their new world order. But they're not going to be able to complete it. They're going to get to the point where it's going to be completed. But then Yahweh Shai is going to come, America's going to be destroyed, and they're going to be taken out. But they're going to get to bring in their order, and it's going to look like, sorry, they're going to get to bring the chaos, and it's going to look like they're establishing their order. You know, people are going to be getting chipped. You got the government's just taking tyrannical control over everybody. Do you know what I'm saying? So they think, oh yeah, everything's working. The whole plan is coming into play. Because that's what this whole thing is all about. This whole thing is about getting a way to manipulate the whole world into hardcore slavery through these. All right. They don't care about one party or another. That's what the people don't realize. This is all BS. There's no such thing. They don't care about any one corporation. They don't care about any one party because none of that matters. Because once they bring all hell, everything will just be fused into one anyway. So it doesn't matter whether it's Republican or Democrat. Who cares? As long as they get the system of controlling that they want, they don't care what face is on it. That's what people don't understand. Amazon, Google, who cares? Does it matter? that's the issue. So they'll manipulate the people into choosing one or the other. But what does it matter? Amazon or Google, you choose. Who cares? The system of control is the same. All right, so that their hands cannot perform the enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. Right, because guess what? In all their wisdom, their very own plans are going to fulfill prophecy and lead to their own destruction. And that's a beautiful thing. But yeah, I just wanted to, touch on that, man. I'll keep an eye out for this Reform UK, because it wouldn't surprise me the way the Conservative Party is in the mud completely. They put a black woman in there as the head of this. First they had a flipping Indian. Then they put the nail in the coffin by putting an actual black Nigerian woman, and she's just saying the most wild and hypocritical things I've ever seen in my life. She's anti-immigration, but she herself is an immigrant. It's actually insane, but it's insane. So the Conservative Party is completely in the mud on purpose, and the Labour Party, I mean, what are their approval ratings? I mean, look, is Reform really pulling ahead of Labour? Polling expert on what to really make of Farage's supposed lead. Yeah, for Farage, which is head of the Reform Party, is probably the most popular leader in the UK right now. And that's all by design because, yo, the Labour and Conservative, they in the mud, absolutely in the mud. And we knew this was going to happen when Labour beat Conservatives. It wasn't because the Labour was so good. It's because they were really the only opposition there was really. And we knew that when they came in, they were going to do a whole bunch of BS and people were gonna be like, oh, and because they thought that Labour was gonna save them, and Labour came in and did a whole bunch of garbage straight away, and everyone's like, oh, so who do you vote for then? Yeah, well, that's why they're gonna push this reform party, and so you're gonna see more and more things happening, and they're gonna milk this grooming gang thing to grow more and more support for the reform party. You know, this anti-immigration stance. So yeah, man, everything's unfolding. 2020, 2022, 25 could be a dynamite year, man. Let's go, champ. Shalom.